Well, I think this is working now. This is very strange. This has been like the weirdest version of having technical issues with YouTube this morning. So I'll tell you in a second. I have unfortunately told everybody to leave this version and I was going to go start another one. But that one didn't work and now the first one's working again. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully everybody can find the podcast. I will put a link in the community post tab here on YouTube and on the Create, Share, Inspire Facebook page when the show's over. I'm sorry I told everybody to go to the other one. First one's working now. So anyway, let's see. I didn't. Hi, Lisa and Christine, Judy, Wendy, Joe, Pamela, Thea, Nadine, Grace, Christine, Angela, Juliana, Elizabeth, Stephanie. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 718. I'm Kristin Omdahl, and we're here live in Southwest Florida in my beautiful tropical backyard. It is very steamy here this morning, more so than I thought it was going to be. Hi, Kathy, Martina, Migdalia, Edna, Marcia, Judy, Kathy, Lucy. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Edna. I feel good today, too. I blow dried my hair with my round brush combo blow dryer and used a little bit of that Wow leave-in anti-frizz spray, which it's just, I can't live without it. Everybody, I've told everybody I know, and I can't believe how many people have bought it now. A couple of my friends here locally have bought it too. It's amazing. I love it. And I've recently found out yesterday that they have other products too, like they have a root boost and some other styling products. So, you know, I'm going to have to try them now. If I love the one, I'm probably going to like the rest too. So stay tuned. I will let you know more when I try other things out because, you know, I would rather try it out myself first before telling anybody my opinions on it. Thank you for mentioning my outfit. I am wearing my new favorite Amazon tank top purchase, and it's the one that has the lace at the v-neck and the lace cap sleeves. I literally could wear this every day. I love it, and I'm wearing it differently today than I've worn it before. I've shown you before that I think I've tucked it in. I've also worn it long and loose because it has really nice side vents on the side, but I'm wearing it with a high-waisted denim mini skirt this morning, and it just looked a little bit frumpy keeping it long on this particular skirt, and it did not look good tucked in because my favorite belt is missing. I have several things missing this morning, and I've been doing a mad dash around the house. I don't know why things go missing on me. My house is not a disaster. I'm fairly organized, and I still have things that go missing, and my favorite belt's been missing for like 5 days right now. Anyway, by using one of the stretchy belts that you can find in my Amazon shop, I love the way this outfit came together. And what's funny is, it came together because of a problem that needed solving, which just always takes me back to when life throws you lemons, you make lemonade. So it ended up being such a lovely mistake, a lovely problem to fix because now that I've worn it like this, I think I will always wear this top belted on top of this skirt. I absolutely love this look and would actually do it again. Even when I do find my favorite belt, I will still do this outfit this way. So, yay, I like it. I like that. Martina, your tummy's too big for a belt. Well, it depends on where you put the belt too. I think that you could also depends on where you put it. I have it at my natural waist because my skirt is high-waisted. You could always do an empire waist too. It just depends on your comfort level. But do keep in mind that this top is long enough to wear under leggings too. Whether you wore it belted like this under leggings or just left the whole thing long, it is absolutely a perfect candidate for wearing over leggings or pants, especially because of these side vents. Can you see that? There's the side vent. So yeah, I mean, if you're not comfortable belting something, that is perfectly okay. This is the length of a top, and with that feature of the side vents, it is just the kind of top that you could wear over anything, including leggings or pants or a maxi skirt or a mini skirt like I'm wearing. You can wear it over shorts too, whatever. anything. Probably wear it over a dress too if you were belting it, but still. Hi Creations by Christina. Thank you, Lucy. This is one of those elastic belts that I have popped in my Amazon shop. Comes as a 2-pack. So there is, hey, get down. That's how I reprimand the kitties. All I have to do is clap and they listen. Good boy. Martina, 5'9" and 185. That's what I weigh. That's my size. Although I've lost 2 pounds this week. Yay, I'm 183 today. I'm very excited about that. First time I've been below 185 this year. Hi Donna, good morning. I've had a heck of a time buying a dress on Amazon recently. I bought it based on their suggested size. They said, based on your purchasing history, we think you should buy a medium. And I was like, oh, I don't think I need a medium. Probably need a large. The medium came and it was so stinking tight that I thought, wow, I think this is tighter than 1 size too tight. I think it's 2 sizes too tight. So I bought the extra large. I tried it on this morning. It's too big. So it turns out I need the size that I thought I needed all along. So I'm gonna have to return it again. And if I'm still loving the dress, I will get it in the large and then I will show you about it. It's super cute. I think there's a lot of ways to dress it up and down. It's 3/4 sleeve with a beautiful bell sleeve detail at the bottom. And it's kind of A-line. It's a chiffon dress, but it nips in at the waist a little bit to still give you a shape even though it's an A-line dress. So there's some interesting features of the dress that I think would work for lots of body types, which is why I'm interested in sharing it with everybody and wearing it myself. And I think you could dress it up and down. But having some delays. Hi Lottie, good morning. Hi Pamela, good morning. Yeah, it's a very interesting dress, Joe. I'm still intrigued by it to the tune of returning it a second time and buying it a third. And I don't know if I've ever done that, but we're gonna do it. Oh, speaking of which, do we have any Bachelor or Bachelorette fans here this morning? Because there's another styling thing that's haunting me from something I watched this week on The Bachelorette. It's one of those shows that I'm embarrassed to say that I watched, but I love seeing the fashion on there so much that I can't help myself. And this year, it's like a train wreck of drama, which is really hard to not watch as well. So anyways, the current Bachelorette, Claire, wore this white shorts suit or shorts tuxedo maybe even this week, and it was really unfortunate because it was satin, and when she sat down the shorts were a wreck. So I do think that whoever styled her did not think of what she would be doing on camera. Anyway, she wore this jacket, I think it was satin, it was a white satin jacket, blazer and shorts. And then she wore this lace bodysuit underneath it. And I'm telling you, I was salivating at the lace bodysuit. So I went on Amazon because now I definitely want the lace bodysuit, and I think I want to be able to wear it under a jacket. So I found one that was only like $15. And I think once I get it, if it works for what I'm thinking of, for anybody that's married or in a relationship, it's really cheap lingerie too. So for $15, comes in a gazillion colors. I'm gonna buy it, see if it works for under a jacket or something for my application, but then I'll share it with you also, so if you need it for any other applications. It's beautiful. It looks beautiful, comes in lots of colors, so stay tuned on that one as well. But she had a gold one on underneath the white suit, and it looked absolutely gorgeous. So we'll see. Anyway, what else was I going to update you on? Oh, I started redecorating my video studio last night. I have been, how many times have I redone that room? Anyway, I decided that I really needed a larger installation on the back wall behind me in the videos. I was in the studio yesterday, so maybe it's semi-familiar. So the background, sometimes I've had one bookcase, sometimes two, sometimes I have mannequins back there and blah, blah, blah. And I really thought that I needed more display back there. I felt like it needed to be a larger scale. So went back to Amazon. I looked on Walmart, I looked on all sorts of furniture websites too, and I couldn't believe how incredibly expensive office furniture is. Like, to get a full suite, going to be like $3,000 to $5,000. And I was like, no way, I can't do that. So I ended up finding wire mesh cube storage, and I got a 5x4 size, so 5 cubes tall by 4 cubes wide, for like 70 bucks on Amazon, all white. And then I bought a second set so that it could be 8 cubes wide by 5 cubes tall, so that I would have 40 cubes to either use for storage or for displaying product, to really make a wow effect in the background for my video. So I'm hoping to pop in some books and some yarn and some finished products and maybe some inspirational quotes and stuff. I think it sounds like a great thing for a craft room too, and I can show you how I think you would use it if you weren't putting so much on display and you were using it for storage too. Here's my question to you though. Do you want me to decorate it live during the podcast? Do you want to help pick where a book display goes and where a yarn or a product goes? If you think that that would be fun to do together, I could do that. We could go into my office and I'll leave it. I installed it last night. It took a while, but I didn't start till after 9 o'clock. So I sat here and cried, not cried, but whined that I worked till 10:30. But if you think about it, it only took me an hour and a half to put together a giant installation. Like, it's huge. And you know what? All I spent was $140 some getting 2 of them. So like, I saved myself, well, it cost pennies to the dollar of what it would have cost to buy traditional furniture. I also bought some fabric cubes so I can show you what size will work in there. Yeah, it wasn't difficult to do at all, super easy, but I thought it might be fun to decorate it together, so maybe we'll go in there tomorrow or Monday and we can talk about it, and maybe I'll get some tips from you guys. Maybe we'll just start planning it, get some of the items in there. I don't know if we'll actually finish it in 30 minutes, not likely, but I can at least get started and at least show you the furniture, and then if you wanted to get it for your craft room or any sort of organizational spaces, you could as well. Ah, Erica's here with Picasso. We haven't seen Picasso in a while. Welcome back, Erica. Oh, Carla's just starting a craft room. Yes, you would definitely like these tips then. Yes, anybody who has not organized a craft room before will definitely appreciate the things that I'm going to show you when we go back into my studio. And if you do have a craft room that's just a hot mess, and don't worry, everybody does. Most people do. That's okay too. I can still give you ideas for how to better organize your space. What also I was thinking is, in the cubes that I put the fabric bins, I was thinking about decorating those too. What if we did like motifs or different swatches or things, or I don't know. I think there might be ways to decorate the cubes as well. So I've got a bunch of ideas, and think it's going to be fun. Does anybody have any questions before we move on? Because I wanted to show you some other things this morning. I've had something out here that I've been wanting to tell you about for a while. Yes, Thea, if you've got lots of totes and bags, it would be a good idea for you to get them all up off the floor, so some cube storage would be great for you. Yeah, Sharon, if you have a craft corner, also great application for this. And because they are adjustable, and I was able to connect the two together, that also means that if you had a smaller space, you could just go further up. Like I chose to do 4 wide by 5 tall and then combine them to do 8 wide by 5 tall. But if you wanted to do 6 wide by, what would that be? 6 or 7 tall, you could go taller and skinnier, you could go wider and shorter. When we go in there and do it, I'll show you, because you can modify it in any shape you want. You could make some of them tall, some of them shorter. Like, you could definitely modify it to whatever shape or size you wanted. Melanie bought mesh cubes. Yeah, they probably don't hold a lot of weight. And anytime you're putting weight in things, Melanie, it's really important to only put heavy things on the bottom when you're doing that. Yeah, I don't intend to put a lot of weight in there. Not at the top anyways, just at the bottom. But I have put my half mannequins on the top already, and they're fine. Yeah, IKEA has decent prices, but what I found was still significantly cheaper than IKEA, Juliana. But that's, I mean, whatever works for you. I just felt like being super frugal on this purchase. You know, sometimes it's what we do. Hi, Neha. Okay, I'll wait and see if there's any more questions about what we've talked about so far, and then I will. Um, Lisa wants some mannequins. Yeah, I should look for. I know I've bought mine on Amazon. I'll look for the ones that I have, and I'll pop them in my Amazon shop too, because you're right. Mannequins are really great, or actually dress forms. Mannequins are scary. I had a mannequin once, and she used to scare me every time I walked past her. And I even put her in a closet once. I would brace myself to open the closet and still jump when I opened the closet. And then when I stored her in the garage, I still got scared when I would walk into the garage. She just is too lifelike. So I ended up getting rid of her. So mannequins are definitely not for me. But dress forms is what I love. Dress forms are great for draping and styling as you're making something. And they're great for sometimes for blocking things too, or allowing things to dry. But definitely great for displaying things as well. And I have 5 mannequins, 3 that have lost their legs, which you know I always put them on top of a tabletop now, and the other 2 are on legs, but I do think I'm going to take them off their legs and put all 5 up on the top of my new wall unit, as long as it's the weight works. Yeah, I'll find some I'll find my dress forms and share links with you tomorrow. Yeah, Pamela, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that a scary show would make mannequins come alive at night, because they are very lifelike, especially when you walk into a room and you're in a hurry and they're in your peripheral view. Very scary. Hi, Gabrielle. Good morning. Okay, so let's move on. I've had this dress out here for several days now, and I wanted to talk about it because I'm really itching to do some crochet on fabric for it. So you know this dress. This is the tank top dress that is fit and flared that I've been wearing for years from my Amazon shop. It comes in a gazillion solid colors. It comes in lots of great prints too. This is where remember, it has the seamed waist and then the fit and flare skirt, but the fitted tank top. It's scoop neck in the front and V-neck in the back. And I have a few ideas for this, some of which are inspired by this tank top here. I think a cap sleeve like this, a little detail on the neck would be gorgeous on here. I also think long sleeves would be fantastic on here, but I want to take it a step further and make the skirt longer with lace. So I wanted to show you a few different types of edging this morning and show you that you could do this with any patterns that you like. You could choose between, like, of all the patterns, let's say you have 10 different shawl patterns with different edgings on them, right? You could pick any of them to put on the bottom. You could do something like this offset shell pattern, or you could do something with a ruffle. And we're going to talk about the difference between those in a minute. Or then if you look at, that's the Sadie crochet shawl pattern, if you don't already have that. This is the Giada crochet shawl pattern. So what I wanted to talk about is some of these have shaping within the stitch pattern. So the gauge the inches per repeat at the beginning of this is not as big as it is at the end. It is a growing stitch pattern. It increases as you go. So something like that will give you volume if you put it at the bottom of something. And what's interesting to know about that is, keep in mind, this already is a full skirt. So how full do you want to go with your edging? If your skirt's already full, you may not want to go with an increasing edging, because do you really want a ruffle on a full skirt? Maybe, but maybe not. So these are things to consider, and then figuring out if that particular stitch pattern is something that can be modified to be less growing. This is another one that grows. See, you can tell by this one it has rows instead of rounds, so I can pull it to the side. See how much wider it is than the width here. This one is a growing one too. This is the, can someone help me out with the name? I lost the name of this all of a sudden. I'm thinking Bianca, and I know that's a knit pattern. Oh, the name's not coming to me. Who remembers what this is called? Gisele. Thank you, Wendy. This is the Gisele top or dress pattern, and it has an increasing edging on it. Now, is this edging amazing and gorgeous? Yes, but you want to think about how the construction of the edging works before you decide how to put it on a skirt. Now, if we were putting an edging on a fitted short skirt like this, any of those increasing edgings would be great, because then it would give you a ruffle or a flare to it. But what I'm thinking, or even on, you know, those tank top dresses that I have from Amazon that are fitted all the way down, an increasing edging would be fine on there, because then you're going from here to a ruffle or a flare. I think that'd be great. But what my concern is on a dress that already does have some flare to it, you want to pay attention to how much flare. Yes, Gisele is named after Tom Brady's wife. You are correct. You want to make sure that something that already flares, you want to make sure that you're getting the silhouette you're going for. And I'm not sure we need a whole lot of extra volume on something that's already flared. Now, I will try this on to really pay attention to how flared it really is. If it's not as flared as I'm thinking it is in my head, I might still go with something that flares a little bit, because as long as we're going to go for a decent length, like we talked about that day when I wrapped the tape measure around my legs and pretended to walk. Remember that day in my studio? The longer your skirt goes, the more volume you do need for walking. Think about it. Let's go back to the demo of walking. So, you know, we could walk like this and feel uncomfortable and possibly fall down with something that's too tight. But think about when you're walking. Look at how wide I need my skirt to be here, and look at how wide I need my skirt to be below my knees. When a skirt is above your knees, it doesn't need to be as long as it needs to be when it goes below your knees. See, because when you're walking, your gait, which is the length of your strides or your step, see how they angle down like a triangle? So the longer something is, the more volume you need for walking. Does that make sense? I'm going to come back and look at the comments now. I'll wait and see if that makes sense to everybody. So the volume that you need for your circumference of a skirt is completely based on how long it is. So if it, okay, and to take that a step further, you might say, oh, well, there's fitted long skirts. Yes, there are, but they always have a slit in the back, the front, or the side, right? Yes, Melanie, that's what I'm talking about now. If you want it to stay fitted and slim, you're going to have to put a slit in there somewhere. Otherwise, you would not be able to walk. In fact, I was just watching Funny Girl the other day, one of my favorite movies, one of my favorite musicals too, with Barbara Streisand and Omar Sharif. Gosh darn, he's so good looking in that movie. Anyway, there's a scene where the girls are all, the Ziegfeld Follies are all coming off the train, and it reminded me of our conversation, because some of the girls had on super fitted dresses, and I'm telling you, they walked like this in the train station. It was so funny, and I was like, ha! That reminds me of what we were talking about the other day. Does anybody recall that scene? I love that movie too. I watch it, I cry at the end every time when she sings, "Oh my man, I love him so." Gosh, I don't know. I'm a sucker for sad love stories. It's a shame to say, but I am. I sing along the whole song. I own the soundtrack. I sing it in the car all the time, always do. 2 soundtracks I sing in the car all the time, Coal Miner's Daughter and Funny Girl. I could sing both of those soundtracks straight through. I love them. Okay, so hopefully I gave some more clarity about crocheting on edging for a skirt edge. How do you figure out how much length of edging you need for your hem? That's personal choice, Wendy. How long do you want your dress? I think I want this dress to be definitely below knee. I don't think I'm going to go full length. I think I'm going to go mid-calf. So right now the dress is above knee, and I'm thinking to go probably 6 or 8 inches of edging, which means, now holding it up to myself, it doesn't look that full. I'm thinking I could go with an increasing edging simply because I want as much length as I was just telling you. But let's go back to the Sadie shawl real quick. I think it might also be interesting. Let's see if I can do this. If I use my bra straps for a second pair of hands. I think I can do this. Let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. So imagine if I used this offset shell and the ruffle border and put both of those down below. I think doing a, I can't reach it. Well, let's do it on the black anyway so you can see it better. I think starting at the hem of the skirt and starting from here, working straight in pattern, even in pattern for this section, and then doing the ruffle at the very bottom, that might still be cool too, and it would give you a lot of drape and movement. So there's that as well. Yeah, I like the length on this dress also, but I also like the idea of creating a completely different looking dress with crochet and fabric. Yes, you could. Angela is saying you can cut a skirt vertically and add lacy flares. She's talking about sewing when she's saying cutting a skirt, and that's true. And you can also add godets, G-O-D-E-T-S, and that's where you add triangle components inside something straight to create flares as well. We've actually done that on crochet and knitting patterns before too, but yes, that is definitely a technique that is borrowed from sewing. Does anybody have any other questions? I know we only touched on that subject today, but I feel like it was a good starting off point that if you really wanted to explore with your own edgings, or if you own the patterns that I mentioned today, you could simply just take the edgings right from there and give it a try on any dresses that you may have in your closet if you wanted to. Would it make it heavy? Beth, it wouldn't make it heavy if you use light yarn. I plan on using Be So Fine yarn, which is my #1 fingering weight bamboo yarn, which is not heavy at all, and it will not add weight to the dress. Hi, Samantha. Yeah, bell-bottom jeans have a flare from the 70s. Yes, Wendy, and that would be a fun thing to do. I think it would be really fun to do that on jeans as well. I don't care for cropped jeans that much, but I do have some cropped jeans in my closet, and maybe doing a crochet on fabric trim on those would maybe dress them up for me. Maybe putting some ooh, what if we do beaded crochet ruffle on the bottom of capri jeans? That would dress them up for evening. Not that I go anywhere, but I would still like to share that with you guys. Linda, it depends on the fabric you're using. If you do a thicker fabric, a blanket stitch is very helpful. If you're using a really fine fabric or a thinner woven fabric, you can use a very skinny crochet hook and pierce the fabric and literally just crochet right onto it. So it depends on the fabric you're using, and it depends on the weight of the yarn too. But if you watch any of the crochet on fabric videos that I have here on YouTube, or see any of the patterns that I have on my website or in my books, you'll see that I've done it in a variety of ways depending on what the fabric is that I have made the crochet and fabric with. Like, for example, I have done my bedroom curtains, by the way. They are a very thick silk tapestry curtain, and it was way too thick for me to pierce with the little crochet hook, so I did do a blanket stitch on those, and that video is on my on YouTube. Also, I've done it on tank tops and t-shirts. There I have pierced the fabric. I've made ruanas and shawls and sarongs with chiffon scarves. I pierced the fabric with a skinny crochet hook on those. I think I also pierced the fabric on the bandana trims that I've done. I think I've only done the blanket stitch version on things that are, uh-oh, we got a kitty fight under the tree, under the plant. Even when I've cut the t-shirt yoke out, I believe I just pierced the fabric. Stretchy woven t-shirt material is pretty easy to, or not woven, that's machine knit. Anyway, I've pierced the fabric for that too. So it really just depends on your crochet hook, the thickness of your fabric, and your personal preference, because even if you can pierce the fabric with a crochet hook, but you would prefer blanket stitch, that's fine too. It's fine. How do you add beads while crocheting? Well, that's a whole other subject, and we're almost out of time, so we can definitely talk about that another day, but that's a great question, Sharon. The good news is there's lots of ways to add beads to crochet work and to knitting, some of which involve stringing them on first, some of which involve putting them on as you go, but there are lots of great ways to add beads to your work. I have several videos with either jewelry and other designs that have beads on them. You can look those up on YouTube or look up those patterns on my website. But we can definitely dive into that further on another podcast. So I appreciate the question. If Idgat Adba, good morning. Gaming with June. All right, I think that I have answered all the questions. If I missed any of your questions, please feel welcome to come back when the video is recorded and pop them into the fixed comments, because I do get notified from those. If it's a subject that I can really dive into on the podcast, I will, like the beading comment, or if it's something that I can answer you quickly, I can do that as well. I do reply to all the comments that come in throughout the day because of the handy little notifications. If you like the podcast, please give it thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, there's the red button over there. If you want to be notified every time I go live, there's a bell button next to the subscribe button. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. I hope you enjoyed all the show and tell, chatting with me and everyone else here. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.